Did someone say Rupon? Cause I think I just heard someone say Rupon.
Fuck.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Weeaboots, the anime review podcast from Weeaboots.com. I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and with me is Jay.
From Hail Zeon.
And Bob.
I'm here too, also from Weeaboots.
Whoa, what's Weeaboots?
It's a
mentioned that
yeah, it's the thing you're from, Dan.
Running the podcast.
Yeah.
We do anime stuff? Is that?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes.
I mean, you call yourself Dan Video Games, but it's weird.
I'm glad the Tony Hawk review came out in the last year, so that way there's not the joke of I haven't heard you review video games. But yeah, today we are reviewing Lupin III.
Yes.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da.
Yeah. This is the 2015 series, the one that just dropped, the first new Lupin series in like 30 goddamn years.
Whoa. Well, that excludes Fujiko Mine.
Yeah, like this is the first core Lupin series. They even gave him a new coat cover and color and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it official.
Yeah. Like he has a new colored jacket. It is an official core installment of the Lupin series.
Incredible. But before we get to that, hey guys, have you watched anything since last time?
I watched Dragon Ball Super, and I watched a different Lupin special because it just put me in a mood to go watch some Lupin specials.
How about you, Bob?
I watched more One Punch Man.
Oh, I also watched some One Punch Man as well.
I did not watch any of any anime. I
Okay.
watched no. That's not true.
Not
I watched
even
Cromartie High.
I didn't watch any anime, not even the one we're reviewing. I'm just gonna kind of wing it. All right, let's do
so
this.
Lupin opens a shop. Remember that episode, please?
Just casting out that line.
You just start recapping like high school slice of life storylines that you can remember from the last 5 years.
Right. But yeah, no, I watched Cromartie. I have it on my tablet. But yeah, in any case. Hey guys, let's talk about Lupin. Bob, what is the deal with Lupin? Give us the rundown.
Well, this time it's directed by Yuichiro Yano,
Uh-huh.
who also directed Aikatsu, the movie, and Moyashimon.
Ooh, that was my favorite Digimon.
It was apparently some series about a guy who can see germs.
Doesn't sound anything like a Digimon.
It's not Digimon.
I fucking hate this movie. This show. Sorry.
TV show. Yes. It got good reviews.
I feel like calling a TV series a movie is fucking perfect if you're adopting ignorant opinions.
And of course the original creator was Monkey Punch. I don't think he had anything to do with this.
Yeah.
Is that guy still alive?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, that's always amazing.
Yeah.
And it's animated by Telecom Animation Film, which is a subsidiary of TMS Production, which does all the Conan Lupin
And
stuff.
yeah, and who used to do all the Lupin stuff except for this one, oddly enough.
Right, because with Telecom Animation Film, they've done Aikatsu, same thing as the director did, and Ramen Fighter Miki, along with a bunch of other stuff. Not nearly as much as TMS has done, though.
Yeah.
So there are basically two new characters as far as we watched. Real quick, let's go over how many episodes each of us watched. I watched 4. Bob?
I watched 4 as well.
6 for me.
Gotcha. Okay, so having covered that, in the episodes we watched, those are the two new characters that they've added and sort of brought back time and time again.
Yeah, they are going to be reoccurring. It seems like they're going to be reoccurring characters throughout this entire 26 episode run.
So we're going to go ahead and cover Lupin for, I don't know, the sad amount of people who listening to this who haven't watched Lupin.
Right?
I know that's a thing, and it confounds me and depresses me to no end.
Kind of like people who don't watch Conan.
I think it's even more extreme than that.
I don't know, man. It's kind of split down the middle, I think, because, you know, like Zeon considered Lupin like worth dubbing, and even though it was canceled from Adult Swim, they continued dubbing it and making individual DVD sets until Zeon went under. Funimation just shotgunned out a bunch of Conan and said, "Yeah, we're never doing that again."
But did Lupin ever get a budget release?
Fucking no.
Well, there you go. I don't know. But
I kind of feel like Lupin it's had more, as you've said, there's been more of it translated, and it's had a longer run on television.
I mean, there's more of it translated as patently false.
Yeah.
I look at my Conan collection for reference.
Well, I guess
Well, let's see. There's like
percentage-wise, maybe. Because there's so much more Conan.
Is that how we're fucking doing this?
Hold on.
Look,
Fuck you.
I'm not saying amount of it total, but
Jesus Christ, man. Fucking, so what? 2% of Conan came over?
Okay.
Basically.
Red Coat Lupin, like over 100 episodes of that came out, and then the 23 episodes of Green Coat Lupin came out.
And like all of the movies came over.
Yeah, like 4 of the 5 movies. There's the 6th movie is coming out as well here, and then like the first like 10 TV specials have been released.
I'm still convinced Conan's come over with more because I personally own 6 Conan films. If you count the TV specials, then there's the crossover ones, which are more Conan.
Yeah.
And I know there are more than 120 episodes of the series that I own. Because it's, how many seasons? 5?
Yeah, it's 5 26-episode box sets.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I own a lot of Conan, you guys.
Yeah, so that's like about 130 episodes worth of Conan right there.
It's fucking tasty.
Yeah.
Why did you cut me off? I need more Jerry Jewel. But yeah, in any case, Lupin. He is the fucking world-renowned criminal being chased by Zenigata.
Yeah. Okay. I guess
Zenigata is fucking from Interpol, and he chases him around the world like an idiot. And Lupin calls him Pops in some versions.
Really, every version but the green coat.
Yeah. So Lupin has assistants.
Yes.
Goemon or Goyamon.
Okay, nobody calls him Goyamon except for like one terrible dub.
And that thing shouldn't
It was a
live.
Samurai Warriors dub.
Right? It is that bad. It is so bad. And Jigen.
Yeah.
A famous, incredibly good sharpshooter, gunsman, and samurai.
Yeah. Jigen is really like his default partner, Goemon being the guy he kind of teams up with every so often for specific cases.
Right.
And then there's
love interest, Giant Tits McGee.
Yes.
Fujiko Mine.
Yes. She's, as she describes in Castle of Cagliostro, what is it? She's his rival, his partner, and sometimes his lover.
Yep. So that's Lupin.
Yep.
Come back next week when we review. What the fuck did you tell someone we?
Probably Digimon, because that's like the next. That's like the new hotness.
Fucking Jeff's gonna run the podcast next time.
But Dan, they're digital monsters.
Are they the champions?
Yes,
I think so.
And they're ultimates. Now, okay, the new characters we got for this particular season of Lupin is Nyx, who is an MI6 agent who seems to be chasing Lupin around, like interfering with his cases or his capers and whatnot. And then
It may or may not be an agent from the movie The Matrix.
Yes.
see, I was thinking like he was fucking Daniel Craig, but and then there's Rebecca Rossellini, who is Lupin's wife. Lupin gets married in the very first episode of this, and she's his wife. But then it turns out she's also got like some shady shit going on, and she's basically like a Paris Hilton analog, but when it's getting filled out like an application.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing about this series for people who are Lupin fans, this whole thing's in Italy?
Yes.
It is Italy as fuck. In fact, the
Yeah.
intro's like, if Italy is blah, 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 Italy, Italy.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason for this is that this is a co-production with Italy. Italy actually got this a season before Japan did.
Cool.
Yeah. In fact, there's even animation comparisons where you can look up like, because it's kind of like whenever you see like
The
first,
TV version of
and,
the Blu-ray.
yeah, they're already doing those, and it's just like those are fantastic. We'll get into that when we start talking about animation, but yeah, it is a co-production. So yeah, like this entire storyline of this I guess you can call it a storyline. Like, all the capers are taking place in Italy. It's part of this co-Italian production.
Somehow they keep doing massive massive jobs of robbing stuff and staying in the country, and it's a good idea.
Okay, Bob, Italy is kind of like a country. It's not exactly like it's like saying like, oh, well, these guys robbed someplace in America.
But it's a European country. It's like if you stayed in Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is still pretty fucking big.
Yeah, that's the thing. Texas is bigger than Italy.
What? No way in hell.
Is Texas bigger than Italy?
Let me check that. Okay, check it out.
Okay, it's not reading off Texas for me. It's reading off Italy, though. Damn it. Okay, let me click through. Maybe some other result. I could probably Google this, but... Why the fuck don't I have... What is... I think it's just called Google. Get Google on your phone.
Huh.
Yeah, it's Google Assistant, but yeah, in any case. I'm going to look that up.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they stay in the country and keep doing capers, and it's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean... Then again, he's Lupin. He doesn't really seem to give two shits. I mean, this is a guy who leaves calling cards to places he's going to rob in advance.
It's true.
So, I mean, Lupin not known for not giving a flying fuck. Plus, I mean, he's been to Italy so many fucking times. So, yeah. I guess that really sums up all there is to say about the story. Because, like, right now, it's extremely episodic. Lupin has always been episodic.
Yeah, Texas is twice as big.
Holy shit.
I saw it.
Yeah,
So
most European countries are about the size of states in the U.S., which is why every time it's like... Man, you don't know where all countries are in Europe? It's like, no! We have 50 states to manage!
Can you tell me where Arkansas is?
None of them even have distinct cultures! Do you know how hard this is?
Okay. But yeah, so your typical Lupin series, extremely episodic. This one's a little less in that we have Rebecca Rossellini and MI6 Agent Nix that seem to be these recurring characters that are kind of creating this continuous plot thread throughout this series. But other than that, it is...
Like, in episode 3, they kind of lead into, at the very end, like, this tease at a bigger idea of, like, some project that's may come back to tie into Lupin and what he's doing. And they're like, bring up the info. And it shows the agent looking at a screen, and then it ends the
with
episode.
His cyber car.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very much, kind of like in the same vein as, I guess, say... Cowboy Bebop or Standalone Complex, where it's a bunch of...
I was thinking Terror in Resonance.
Wow. I'm going to break your jaw. That's a fucking insult.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got lots of Terror in Resonance vibes from this.
Okay.
We got to episode...
Did we finish? We watched that all the way through. Was that for Weeaboots?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, why did we watch the whole thing? Oh
because back then we were watching an entire fucking series and it was a terrible idea and we all wanted to fucking kill ourselves.
I was fine with it.
But anyhow, yeah, like I was gonna say, like I would compare it to those shows just because it's a bunch of standalone episodes with just every so often there's these little things that are tying them together.
Yeah.
And it's obviously gonna build up to something at the end. So yeah, opinions, I guess, on the show that we watched.
I feel like every episode was good. Like, the first episode and the third episode were kind of lame. And then the episodes between those 2 and 4, well, not really between for 4, but you know what I mean. They felt like classic Lupin. This is an episode. This is just going to be something cool that Lupin gang go do.
Okay, real quick, so that way we can further discuss episode 1. Let's just discuss episode 1.
Sure.
Episode 1 needs to introduce the character Rebecca Rossellini. So it's all about Lupin getting married to her and the theft of a crown jewel of Italy. It's a crown that literally regional princesses wear on the day after their wedding, and Lupin's gonna steal it, and all the stuff about that. And yeah, that episode really made me worry about the series. I did not like that episode. Bob, you also?
Yeah, I was also worried with that one. Plus, it didn't even open with the Lupin theme. It opened with some really weird, like, Italian rap. Which was all right. I can get used to that. But
wait, yours opened with an Italian rap?
It opened with Italian music is all I remember. It was not a normal intro yet because it was episode 1 and not 2.
I could have sworn, like when I watched it, it had the when I watched it had the traditional Lupin theme.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
That's...
But I do remember it was cut together with nothing but scenes from the first episode. The actual intro they used for the rest of the series was not there. And I was like, oh good, the real intro. And Bob's like, thank God, I was worried that 1 and 1 was the whole series. And I'm like, Jesus, no, all of those parts were in episode 1. And he's like, I don't know, maybe every episode it's cut together from parts from the episodes. And I'm like, wow, this would be the cheapest series ever.
Yeah, I was really worried.
And that's fair, because episode 1, kind of bad. Jay, what did you think about episode 1?
Episode 1 I thought was okay. I mean, it's obviously trying to establish a bunch of stuff. I enjoyed it a lot more in the last act of the episode. Like the beginning of it, I really fucking hated Rebecca. Oh my God, I really fucking hate her.
Really? Why?
Because she came off as this obnoxious fucking airhead, and it wasn't until they established this whole kind of thrill seeker aspect of her personality, and like how she tried to outsmart Lupin, and she knows all about Lupin shit.
Tried.
Okay, yeah, she does fucking pull one over on him. So yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. And the climax, the third act of the episode, that to me felt like Lupin stuff, where just shit just kind of went haywire, and
Yeah.
and it got more fun and adventurous in that last segment of the episode, where everything else up until then had just been it felt like the series was trying to find its footing and establish what they were going to be doing for the series.
I think that's fair. At the same time, I thought it was distinctly not Lupin in feeling, like the majority of the episode. Mm-hmm. As soon as episode 2 got even, I don't know, a fourth into it, it was like, oh, right, I remember now. I love Lupin. I love Lupin as much as I love Conan. I just don't own as much of it because it was never cheap.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
As a guy who owns a shit ton of Lupin, I own every Lupin DVD you can in the States, for the record, except for that one that costs $150 fucking because it's out of print.
Yeah, we talked about that on the way over here. I was like,
fuck you, disc 11 of Lupin the Red Coat series.
No, God bless you, because I am now a better Conan fan than Jay is a Lupin fan.
You still don't have the crossover movies or specials.
Well, one of those is fucking garbage.
Did that stop anyone? Should that stop you?
It didn't stop me from season 1 of Case Closed. Or actually, it's 2 when it gets really filler crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't season 1 good?
Season 1 was alright, but then towards the end it starts dipping into that season 2 territory. You could tell the series writers were writing most of the mysteries, and it's like, fucking, and then she stabs the guy.
Did they use tape again?
She hides it on the table. And she makes up some shit about being sick or crippled. We don't know. But in any case, so yeah, God bless you, $150 DVD. You make me a better fan. But yeah. The episode 2 was really, really good. And that goes into this Italian athlete who's caught up in a drug conspiracy, and
yes.
he's being blackmailed with photos and medical records and stuff like that, and Lupin's going into it really has that feel. Like there's not even a real super important heist of valuable treasure. It's just they're stealing documents and sneaking in, and it still just feels like, oh man, Lupin, fucking A.
Also, when you find out the soccer player's backstory and why he's on the drugs and what he's like there is so much heart to that, and that's one of those things I thought Lupin was. It's just one of those things it kind of hits you in the feels, and I'm like, oh right, this is one of those Lupin things where it's just it has an emotional core to it, but it can also be fun and stupid and silly. Just enjoy itself and be a fun caper story. Yeah. With these great iconic characters.
Yeah. And now Bob was saying 2 and 4 were really good and 1 and 3 really weren't so.
Yeah, that's what I came away with.
I honestly came away with 2 was great and everything else was kind of I could leave it at the table, because 4 was this weird story that just
It was like
even
Jigen alone, and
even the preview on the prior episodes, like they're in a weird almost alternate universe sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it clearly was that, because it's like they go to a town where one man is the law and he's the most evil guy ever, and they make a fun game out of shooting people to almost to death.
yeah,
and it's like
it's dumb.
this is like not crazy enough to be that grindhouse level of stupid concept.
And then at the end of that episode, they just call the cops in. It's like,
Well, no,
wait
the
a
cops
second.
just find the bodies.
right?
Yeah.
They do.
No one fucking called them. It's
They-
just like,
but-
everyone's dead, leave them on the ground. I got my gun.
It's like there's clearly lots of cops in this town with guns.
Right? 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 And then, like, there was that extra layer of, like, Zenigata, what are you doing here? Aren't you overstepping your jurisdiction? And he's like, yeah, I am. And I'm like, so are you still in Italy or what? Where are we? What the fuck is this? And then they don't even address it. It's like, hey, you got the drugs, let's go.
Look,
and
the
it
whole
does-
thing was necessary for his painkillers for his tooth pain.
Uh-huh.
Very
and,
necessary.
And like between everything I said up until now and the fact that Zenigata Jigen's solution was to move at superhuman fast speeds to dodge bullets from rookies.
Well,
I know what he did,
okay.
but he still moved
Yeah.
dodging bullets.
Yeah.
They animated that.
Yeah.
The words they said don't undo it.
Yeah, because what they animate is him straight up dodging bullets.
People seem to be able to dodge bullets in this universe.
Right, because the prior episode had the MI6 guy dodging bullets. Except for he was just dodging them and, like, beating up Lupin and going only human because he's Agent Smith.
Yes.
And then,
And then there was some weird subway fight scene. I don't know what happened.
Lupin's the one, I guess. I don't know. Why did he turn into a car? Oh,
and then he, like, jumped inside of the MI6 agent and,
and
blew up.
exploded him. And now there are 20 of him. God, that would be so great.
And then Nick shows up in episode 5. It's like, it's me, and me, and me, and me.
The good thing about being me is there's so many me.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, so I didn't like 4. It was definitely better than 1 and 3.
Right? I mean, it's not as good as 2, but it's just interesting.
See, I liked episode 3, though. I
Something
liked-
about just starting off with some weird. They're in the middle of a heist.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jigen captured, then immediately started torturing. Like, they went into torture right away with that. And then
Okay.
we go back in time somehow and see Lupin finish the heist in the same room, what seems to be 5 hours later, at least, after we've done many other events.
There was a bit
It's
of
a lot of weird timeline
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
The storytelling kind of lacking, but for me, what kills it is Nyx. Like, Nyx being this, my car is a supercomputer that can search up anything. I have a thing in my ear that gives me high-speed echolocation abilities that lets me know which way you're running from like a quarter mile away.
Okay, are we really gonna say in the Lupin universe, this is fucking absurd?
I'm just saying, I did not enjoy that.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's on brand or off brand. I'm just saying I did not enjoy that episode. I think it's worse than 4, and I think 2's just really good, and I want to see more like that.
Yeah.
And Nyx does constantly do that percentage thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that is the worst trope. I hate that trope. That is my worst. I hate the anime trope of having a guy say his percentage rate of success. Like, there's a 100% success rate. There's a 99.8 success rate. Like, I do not understand. Like, I want to meet the people in Japan who think that's cool, because I don't believe they exist, and I think Japanese writers just do it because they're stupid.
I feel like it can kind of work if it's actually a robot. Anything outside of that,
I
is
feel
just really
like
dumb.
I feel like the what's the term? The omnipresence of it has already ruined it for the robots.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I've grown at that thing so much.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. And I will admit, like, it was one of the weaker episodes. Admittedly, I did watch 2 episodes more than you guys.
And I
so-
know that another one, much like episode 4, is another vignette about a specific character. You said it was Zenigata?
No, it's Fujiko is episode 5.
Oh, okay,
It's
but
episode 5, and Zenigata's episode 6.
right. Okay, so the next two
Weird.
are vignettes about specific characters.
I will say the Fujiko one is leagues better than because it's not just Fujiko.
Right. I
It's-
saw from the preview that Lupin's there,
Yeah.
and that's more than you get in 4.
Yeah,
Because
like-
Lupin just comes in the last 10 minutes and he's like, I'm Lupin! It is legally mandated I show up in my own show!
Yeah. The thing is though, like that Jigen episode is like the quintessential framework for a Jigen episode because like
Yeah.
because like Jigen always has like the same kind of episode. Like he goes someplace off on his own. He meets a girl. The girl gets him involved in some shady shit. He has to go take down some crazy ass mob motherfucker, and he uses it with his sweet ass gun skills.
I feel like even a straightforward interpretation of what you just said would have been better than the episode we got. Because it would have involved some super evil dude who shoots people who have guns.
Yeah,
It's just like the writers were like, okay, what do we know about Jigen? He's got a gun. What if somebody didn't want him to have that gun?
It was really, really hard
Go on.
to write.
How do we write that? Well, what if there was a city with the guy who didn't want people to have a gun? Just
Brilliant.
Just write it. We'll greenlight it. Fuck. No
Yeah.
one cares anymore. Tom's asleep.
yeah. Going back to like the episodes that I saw. Like I said, there's a Fujiko centered one where she meets this guy who's like a magician or whatever. And that one I thought was really, really good. Like I wish you guys could see it just so we could have
Yeah.
more positive Lupins I'm talking about because yeah, it had that good emotional core that episode 2 did.
Right. I
And-
just the preview definitely paints it as I could be as good as 2.
Yeah.
By controller. Good thing GameCube controllers aren't rare.
Right. But yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, it
How
was
would you
really-
rank the episodes you watched?
I would say episode 2 or 5 is my favorite so far. Followed probably by episode 6 because the Zenigata one was a pretty solid episode, I thought. Then after that, oh man, Jigen after that. Then episode 3 with no, actually fuck it, 1 then 3 because honestly the next episode I think may have been the worst one. Like,
Yeah,
I think-
okay. I can get down with that. Just because the fucking solution was to start running a direction the moment he went out and run a different direction.
Yeah.
That is a super obvious, really stupid solution.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, how did Lupin know where he was keeping Jigen?
Lupin magic.
Did you not consider that until I
Oh
just
Jesus
said it?
Christ! No, I didn't.
The moment he walked in, I'm like, how the fuck did he know? This is an Italian village. There are fucking buildings everywhere. This shit is dense and 2 stories tall. And he just waltz in like, hey, I'm Lupin. I found it, of course.
Like honestly,
I used my echolocation.
You have to give it to the fact that the Lupin characters are actually basically superheroes.
Okay.
So it's just really weird that Jigen's able to dodge bullets in the next episode, and he just caught like nothing by Nyx.
Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, those are the episodes. we have now talked about them.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about animation.
Okay. So I don't know about you guys. I like the art style in this.
Oh yeah, I think I really dig it. Like the sort of painterly look to the backgrounds, and then animation of the characters looks. I don't know. It's just a nice little.
It is a very good emulation of like
Cell.
Yeah, of Cell.
Honestly, I wouldn't say it's so. Well, yeah.
Well, the line work works like that, yeah.
Because it thins and thickens as if it was like a paintbrush, and I really did like that
Yes.
look. But then it also has like gradient tones, like in the hair and like the clothing or whatever, which is obviously a digital animation. So it's a nice hybrid of the two.
Yeah, like it really tries to own the flaws of Cell, and that almost makes it even better.
Yeah.
In this weird way.
Yeah, it gives it its own little unique look and vibe, and I've noticed that they've been doing really being experimental with newer Lupin stuff. Fujiko Mine had a very it had a very manga look to it. The woman called Fujikamine, which is the last series that before this one for the people who don't know.
Just her.
Oh, no.
She's uniquely animated among everyone else.
I'm just sitting here laughing because I'm like, experimental. Okay, they made it a slice of life.
But yeah, like in the woman called Fujikamine, that series, it had a very manga sketchbook feel to everything. It looked, it had a really unique style to it. It had a grittier character designs. It had this sketch pad shading. Really cool look. The movie that they did, Jigen's Gravestone, which was a direct sequel to the Fujikamine series, that was basically kind of a hybrid of this series and Fujikamine, where it had the bright, vivid colors of this series. Which God, this color, the color palette on the series, I love it. It just it really pops, and it has a nice atmosphere to it. It's really colorful. Something you don't see too much in like a series like this. But it had like the characters, the grittier character designs of the Fujikamine series. So yeah, and then this one, it has a more softer, rounder look to the character designs. They're a bit more stylized. They're a bit less like edgy looking. A bit more friendly, I guess you could say. Yeah,
I feel like there's still like some weird missteps with it. Like sometimes they'll zoom in too much or get an angle a little strange.
Yeah. There's a few little awkward moments, but honestly, like considering like some of the stuff we've been watching,
it's not.
and like the fact that they're like since this is obviously their second go around of broadcasting since it was already in Italy. This is like the second run through where they've touched up the character designs, because I've seen like the comparison shots, and if you look at the Italian ones, there's a lot of scenes where you can just look like, oh, they forgot that they were doing this art style, and it just looks like more like classic Lupin, like how the characters are drawn in like the older TV specials.
Yeah.
And then like it would go back to like how it's, and they kind of uniformed it to match this new character, the new character design they're doing for the series.
Here, real quick, let's take a quick break so that way I can see this comparison, because I'm really curious. Okay, so we just looked at those. There's a ton of difference between those two runs. Fujiko's face is entirely different. You were saying, like, in the Italian one, they went for a traditional, like, how Fujiko looks.
Yeah, like, it seems like
totally right.
Yeah, like, specifically, like her eyes, like, they're more rounded, kind of like, how she looks. It looks more like, like, traditional, like, almost like Red Coat Lupin, or, like, the specials, how they tend to draw Fujiko's face. I mean, her hair still has like the gradient in it, and it's still drawn the same like as in the Japanese run, but like her face definitely different.
Well, they redrew a lot of her hair. Like it had a lot more lines in it in the Japanese version.
They did redo her hair a good bit, but yeah, like lots of shading detail and other things about every character were like, oh yeah, that's how Lupin traditionally looks. Like, in the Italian one.
In the Japanese version, that Fujiko face we see is more like in some of the later movies I saw. Maybe that's just me, but
yeah, I don't really recall her looking too much like that. But I would also bring up the character's also definitely more expressive in the Japanese run as well.
Yeah, like in the Italian run, Lupin will slightly tilt his head while winking, and he just has his like eyelid closed to wink. In the Japanese one, he's like turned it another 30 degrees and then like squished his eyes so hard you don't see eyelid detail. It's just like shut, like it was a valve. And it's like, yeah, they take it, they crank it to 11.
Yeah, they just make it more expressive. They give it a little bit more energy, just a little bit more flair to the visuals.
And they don't draw fireworks like shit. But yeah, that's an interesting comparison. I totally encourage anyone. Well, what was the name of the Tumblr? Do you know?
Lupin Central.
Okay, Lupin Central Tumblr has some pics if you just go back through their pages. By the time you hear this, it'll probably be 30 pages, so
yeah,
enjoy doing that.
Keep going.
Just go forever. Yeah, real quick, a note I forgot to mention. When they just start torturing Jigen,
yeah,
in episode 3 with the MI6 guy, I just assumed he was American. I thought Nyx was gonna be an American. I'm like, people torturing other people of other nationalities in foreign countries. That's the Americans. He's literally shackled to a fucking cross.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what do you mean you're British?
Right?
They're like, if we say it's the Americans, they'll probably do it to us.
Okay. Thing is, though, like, I mean, Britain is very, I mean, like, they have, like, the Roman Catholic Church and all of that, like, and, like, they have, like, the Church of England, like, so Britain is very Christian, so, and, we are talking about MI6, so...
Yeah, MI6 is known for all their Abu Ghraibs.
But yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's us. Fucking American military is a constantly going carnival of torture and casual bystander murders.
Hey, we don't murder people. Our drones murder people, okay? Our hands are completely free of that blood. Because it's all over the robots.
That's how fucking moral superiority works nowadays. We fucking let the software do it, so it's probably the programmer's fault. You should put him on trial.
Look, okay, you can't blame Americans for what the killbots do, alright?
Yes. Yes, I can. But yeah, in any case, enough about social commentary. Let's get back to Lupin III. Jay, in the grand scheme of Lupin III products, where do you rank this? It's better than the fanfic I drew.
Okay,
You drew a fanfic?
Better than Green Jacket Lupin, I would say this is probably a little underneath,
It's better than Conan, all of it. And then you just hear violence. Right.
Yeah, let's see. I really love, because to me, Red Coat Lupin is quintessential Lupin series.
Yeah.
It is pretty much what all modern Lupin is based on, regardless of what Miyazaki fans try to fucking tell you.
But Miyazaki's the best.
His Lupin is the shittiest Lupin.
It was kind of fucking weird when they just Count Cagliostro, and I'm like, we're just gonna drag that into an episode, I guess.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, at least they're kind of like acknowledging like kind of past Lupin history. So I was kind of.
I honestly thought that was weird. To me, it was like, hey, remember Mamo Island, or what was it, the Secret Island of Mamo?
Yeah. Oh Jesus Christ! Speaking of Mamo, okay.
Don't tell me that comes in episode 5.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Going off was like a little bit different. I was watching the most recent movie, like the Jigen's Gravestones, the sequel to the Fujiko Mine series. Fucking, there is like an Avenger style like after credits stinger with fucking Mamo in it.
What?
I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, it was awesome to see him because that's my favorite Lupin movie. But shit. But yeah, so yeah, it's really hard to like rent it because I mean, like, you're talking about like just in terms of series.
Yeah, what you enjoyed most.
To me, like my favorite is Red Coat.
Yeah.
After that, it's the woman called Fujiko Mine. Woman called Fujiko Mine is probably a better series than Red Coat, but to me, Red Coat is Lupin.
I mean,
and I would say this would probably come after Red Coat. So I'd probably go like after this would probably be the Pink Jacket series and then Green Jacket series at the back end.
Bob, I'm gonna just go ahead and assume you don't have a comprehensive knowledge of most of Lupin.
Yeah, I watched like 6 episodes of Fujiko Mine and a decent bit of the Red Coat, but that's really it. And then the
movies. Yeah, I remember we watched quite a few of the movies.
Yeah, I remember just dropping Fujiko Mine after some real weird stuff with Zenigata character. So
yeah,
he
gets better treatment later on.
Okay, it's gonna be really hard to fix that.
But are his eyelashes on model? His
Probably.
beautiful feminine eyelashes. It's important, okay, guys?
It is an integral part of his character.
Not
really.
too many noir, sort of detective-y, crime thriller things have beautiful men with butt chins. Like, they don't have people who are facial oxymorons running around in them a lot of the time.
Yeah, what can I say? Zenigata's kawaii as fuck. Right?
Yeah, he is. He's kawaii AF. Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't know. Like, all this made me want to do was go watch classic Lupin, because, as I said, episode 1, 3, and 4 were nowhere near as good as 2, in my opinion. I look forward to 5.
Yeah.
and 6. Mostly
Yeah,
5.
it was. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag because, like, I do feel like it's a new Lupin series that's trying to find its footing, and I do appreciate what they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to like weave a little bit of a story in there, so that way it's not completely episodic. Because I think people demand overarching stories in their shows now. Like, you can't just have an episodic series anymore. Unless you're like a little kid's anime or Detective Conan, because Conan's been doing it for like 6 years straight now, and it's too late to go back.
I'm gonna say
6?
I don't know.
probably 20 or something.
Probably as close to
17 is probably closest.
No, dude, it was like the mid '90s, so yeah, it's probably closer to 20.
Oh, yeah, I was like, wait, you...
No, yeah. I know I fucked it up when I first.
Yeah.
Because it was all cell animated to begin with.
Oh, I know.
And
Trust me, I know. God, coming so many like a decade later and seeing the Flash stuff kills me.
Right.
It just looks like shit now. I'm not saying it looked exceptional back in the day, but...
Yeah, I kind of have that same issue with anything that gets, like, where they take this 90s property and it's like... Because, like, 90s animation to me is, like, my favorite era. So then whenever I see it, like, done in Digipaint, I'm like, oh.
Well...
remember
like,
that zany episode of Orphan where it was Digipaint?
I loved it. I love when Black Menchie showed up.
Yes.
Seriously, okay? It's the same animation studio as Excel Saga. So when their little black dog shows up,
It just...
he's just fucking Menchie.
That's incredible.
He is Menchie. Whenever they did the Digi-painted episode, he was just fucking Menchie, but black.
That is incredible.
It was fucking hilarious.
So I was talking to Bob about, like, Conan, Lupin, how they both similarly had shit reception in the States, and got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. Lupin got to take a break, have ideas for a new series, and roll out a new series. Conan's just been going the whole time. So you look at Conan, it looks like total garbage Flash animation. And you look at Lupin, and it's like this cool emulation of cell animation, but with all the benefits of digital. And I'm just like fucking salty as hell here because I'm like, man, Conan movies don't even look anywhere near. Oh.
Yeah, like this series looks really nice. I mean, like it's not super fluid in terms of its animation, but you could tell like a lot of love and attention and creativity went into the visuals. Like they wanted to make something that was visually distinctive and interesting. And possibly also maybe something that would catch the Japanese market's eye a little bit better. Just because, Lupin, those character designs are from the friggin' 70s.
Yeah.
Like early 70s. So it's kind of understandable that maybe, they want to do something to kind of reinvigorate the visuals to try and drag in a younger audience that wouldn't appreciate, traditional Lupin.
With the new marketing tagline, is he a squid, is he a Lupin? They have captured the hearts of the Japanese youth. Speaking of which, Splatoon Online is nothing but Japanese people, help! Every time I run into an American, they have the shittiest handles, like Link.
Oh, god damn.
Yeah, I ran into Link, Mario, Yoshi, and then I ran into one and I'm like, oh, finally it's not a Nintendo... Wait, Blind the thief from Link to the Past. God damn it! God damn it!
Maybe you just have to wait till Christmas. Maybe then everyone will open their Wii U's and
autistic 8-year-olds won't be playing with you online. Okay, let's be honest.
I think you mean autistic 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
I am Glitch. Fucking brilliant name, asshole, or I am Error. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just... fucking Lupin just had a really nice slick style to it. And yeah, with Detective Conan, it's been going and going and going. So kind of like when Inuyasha made the jump to digital,
yeah.
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they just kept on with the exact same aesthetic. They didn't try to alter it at all to fit this new animation style or the animation technique, and it just comes off jarring and weird and not as good as it was before.
So hey Jay.
Yeah.
I occasionally wonder what will happen to your channel if they stop Super. When that happens, like what your content becomes. Not so much like what happens to his numbers. If I just start reviewing Conan, I'm good till I die.
Well, I have 2 bookcases overflowing with anime that I can just start talking about and reviewing.
It's true. You are capable as a person reviewing anything.
Yeah.
It's just They want Super.
So yeah.
You're
Trust me.
You're trending towards hippo territory of. God damn it, you guys! Will you please watch my Arakawa review?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you right now, man. Like this. So sometimes reviewing Super becomes a soul-sucking experience. Where I can enjoy watching Super, but sometimes I just don't want to talk about an episode because there wasn't anything worth fucking saying.
Yeah, this is still fucking Dragon Ball, you guys. What do you want from me? At 1740 into the episode, Goku got punched.
Yeah, like you can only say so many interesting things, especially when they're recapping the movies. You can only really talk about what they're changing and whether it's beneficial or detrimental to the storytelling.
But Jay,
he's really holding out for that crossover with Love Live.
Jay, you know what you really need to do? Crank it up to 11 and just do PBS Idea Channel scale bullshit. What is the pudding a metaphor for in Dragon Ball Super?
I hate you.
Do you hate me or views?
I hate everything in life right now.
There we go.
Let's talk about music.
Let's talk about music.
Okay.
The intro theme's pretty good. I like the outro theme. They're both pretty good.
This is probably like some of the best, like as far as like intro outro combo, I think it's like the best in Weeaboots ever.
I was gonna say definitely the best in Lupin. Why didn't we review Watamote?
Was the outro any good for that?
Yeah, it was the cell phone thing.
Oh yeah, they have a great fucking outro.
Yeah. Watamote did it. It's the only anime I could even think of that had both a good intro and outro.
But yeah, like
because Rurouni Kenshin, I don't remember an intro as good as.
It has their classic Freckles intro.
Yeah, I was like the
which is really weirdly happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Outlaw Star. That was the one where the intro is like Kimi Dake. Okay. What was the outro?
It was the weird like Chinese singing.
Oh yeah, Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, what? I don't even.
It's a song that Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of Briefcase Chick, and that's one of my favorite animes. Fuck. Melfina. Yes.
Delfino Plus.
It has her say that song like, I don't know what words I could say.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
It had some really weird art to it.
Yeah, it had some really hyper-detailed sketch work.
And here are 2 points against it compared to Watamote's outro. 1, there are no cell phones. And 2, even more importantly, there's no barfing at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Watamote speaks to me on a spiritual level that you will never understand.
Really? Jesus.
They have to fucking say us and like seeing Japanese girls fucking tortured.
Or people.
Yeah.
Mental anguish is a very interesting thing to watch.
Hashtag Schadenfreude. So yeah, the intro and outro for this series, I really dug it. Mm-hmm. The intro, it's pretty much what has become the classic quintessential Lupin intro, just da-da-da-da, Lupin III, and then that whole jazzy thing. Really
I'm glad they didn't deviate too much, weirdly.
Yeah, it was, because we've heard some weird covers in the past.
Yeah.
This one was just kind of just a really upbeat, energetic, variant of the theme. It's just, it's very easily identifiable as the Lupin theme.
Uh-huh.
Which, okay, fun fact. That's really only the Lupin theme for the Red Coat series. Green Coat and Pink Coat have completely different intros.
Yeah.
Fujiko Mine had a completely different intro.
Uh-huh.
This one is just like, you know what, fuck it.
Were any of the other series over 100 episodes long?
Yeah, we're just, that just really goes to show, like, the staying power of Red Coat Lupin, how everything has just been influenced by Red Coat Lupin.
Yeah.
And even this series
like, the music is really good there just because it's timeless.
Yeah. It just has this really good little fun, jazzy sound to it. And then I love the outro where it's just the chick singing, because I love synchronized dancing, but I also love just seeing characters sing.
Yeah.
Real quick, animated.
Is that character supposed to be Fujiko?
I don't think
she's so off model in this series compared to original Fujiko.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just supposed to be like a club singer, like a chick in a lounge singing, and then obviously it cuts to Fujiko lip syncing the lyrics at the end, but. But yeah, I love the visuals to them.
Yeah,
both.
the intro is just 10 out of 10 visuals
Yeah.
wise.
Oh my God.
Very stylized, very cool, like layout sort of like ideas.
It really personifies Lupin and like what
Yeah.
Lupin intros are, because they are really stylized. They're cool. They're hip. They are just super cool is the best way to describe them. They are 70s cool, and it doesn't deviate too far from that.
And it just made me think of, this is weird to say, like Tank and the Cowboy Bebop
Yes.
intro with the very stylized like silhouettes of things. Obviously, this is hitting on more cylinders than that.
Yeah.
Because visually it is way more complex. The only sore point in that whole intro is, of course, vehicles show up. And as we know, in 2015 in anime, has to be CG.
Yes.
So there's like
At least they-
one angle that looks bad.
Right, at least
But-
they try and go really stylized with it. Like it's
They
not,
do a pretty good job in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
no,
in
I'm
general,
saying
but-
in the intro that like that's not trying to be a realistic car. It's like some
Yeah.
weird mini car.
But it's still, for one
weird.
angle, looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they change the angle 2 more times.
Yeah. So I didn't really have too much an issue with the CGI in the series, because like usually with CGI, it's horribly misused. Horribly fucking misused.
Yeah.
And here they use it for vehicles, and they use it for specific backdrops whenever they're doing like car chases or things like that, or like
Yeah.
Lupin's like traversing a city. And I love
And
how
then in one shot they committed the sin that what was the name of the military anime we watched back in May or June?
fucking Arslan.
Arslan, thank you. I thought Aslan, and I was like, no. In any case,
Aslan.
Aslan,
that-
yeah.
I was like, that's
you
not-
know when
I
it
was
had
thinking
that
modern military. Okay.
scene in the intro, I believe it was, where they're riding the horses and they do the 45-degree angle of the city going past, and it's CG and it looks terrible. They made that same mistake in Lupin at one point, and I was like, why did you do that? In the rest of the episode, they didn't do it ever again.
Huh? I missed. I must have.
It was in the third. The next episode.
Okay.
They did it for one scene. It's so weird.
Yeah, 'cause-
does Shirobako just end with the 2D animation department coming to murder the fucking CG department? Because it should.
I will say though, there was some really well CG implemented into the backdrops, because one of the things I've noticed with like how they did this, and this is something that they did in Fujikomine. They actually did a little bit better in Fujikomine because of the sketchbook style that it had. But they make like the way they designed built CGI buildings and other things in the background that are CGI. They give it this water paint or this watercolor or oil painting look to it, so it matches the normal backdrops that you would see, except the 3D models. And I really appreciate and like the way they did that, because you can actually see like paint strokes on the 3D models, and it has like a nice look to it that fits with the aesthetic, and it isn't jarring.
And it works.
Takes you out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that does a lot.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to review that Berserk CG film, right?
Oh fuck you! Fuck you! No.
Get the fuck out! This is my house. Get the fuck out! Fucking. What I would like to see is, if you guys remember euphonium, sound euphonium words.
Yeah.
The visual art style in that was very cool because they always treated the perspective as a camera, and they had the well done depth of field, whereas a lot of animes do that terribly. I would really like to see a Lupin where they treat the perspective like that, just because to give Lupin this real feel would be kind of interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not sure they're ever going to do it. Probably aren't. But
Right.
I think that would be neat. The visuals here do work really well, and as you said, they draw over the CG, and that helps immensely.
Yeah.
Because, God, so many animes. It's like, what? It's a CG shot. It's going to look like shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to see a studio that's willing to go the extra mile to not make it look jarring as
To finish
fuck.
drawing an anime.
They really put in the effort and not release complete garbage.
Yeah, but weak episodes aside though, like
Yeah.
I'm digging it. Like, it's Lupin, so I mean, yeah, it makes me want to like maybe go check out better Lupin, but at the same time though, it makes me look forward to seeing more episodes of this series, just because, I have seen like how good this series can be and see, more of that
Right.
in this fucking gorgeous art style.
I find long-term prospects I would definitely like to see more, but I'm worried about what the arc is, because as you were saying, you gotta have an arc. There's gotta be a larger story mechanism going in the background to tie in the viewer.
Well, you see, Nick's science car is actually going to take over the world. And
It's
Lupin
Skynet.
It's Skynet.
Whoa.
It's 2015 Skynet.
So it's a smartphone OS? Is
Yes.
That, oh my god!
You know, couldn't we just have?
So who sent back the old Terminator?
It was Lupin's grandfather.
Lupin the old.
Yeah. I kind of just wish Nix's car were just Knight Rider.
I wish Nix was in fact Nixon in disguise.
Also, okay, something I really wish they would have done with Nix is just make him a goddamn Daniel Craig analog, like a Daniel Craig parody.
Yeah.
Because like if they had made him just like this hardcore, gritty fucking MI6 agent who's just like a brutal like fisticuffs kind of dude.
Yeah, if he was the bulldozer that Daniel Craig has
Right,
characterized Bond as, that would work better for me because Lupin dealing with somebody that strong.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like this stupid like, oh, I have these devices that help me do this thing
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
Yeah, because I mean, like give him some of like the James Bondy stuff that like Daniel Craig would have, but
Right.
Also just make him a fucking because like Lupin has dealt with guys like that in like the specials and in the show before, and it's always really interesting because you have Lupin's very kind of athletic.
He's a monkey.
Yeah, like the way he deals with people like that, because he just usually gets the shit kicked out of him, and he
Yes.
has to either outmaneuver them or outsmart them, or just use his bag of tricks, and it always makes for like an interesting fight to have play out.
Yeah, I on that same tangent, I don't love Nix as an antagonist, and I worry about the longer arc, as I was saying. Bob, what do you think about this series as like larger prospects?
Yeah, I want to see more of it. I'll probably wait for some more official way.
Oh yeah,
Like-
by the way,
like-
we haven't yet to bring up, you can't watch this legally. This is like the only thing on Weeaboots so far that we
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I am 100% legit. I watched this legally. I own a residence in Japan, and I had my housemaid record it for me.
There you go,
So,
Dan.
you two cretins who aren't real anime fans like myself.
But yeah, the going back to fan subs after this long,
Yeah.
and then the fan sub culture has died because of things like Crunchyroll and all this other streaming
So
stuff.
a lot of the people who were doing that, like,
They
and
moved-
were good at it,
Right,
are just
they
like,
moved on. Like
you guys have a
some of
good...
them probably work for these other companies by
Yeah,
now.
no, undoubtedly. That is how those industries work.
yeah.
Yeah, we switched. Bob switched because housemaid. Bob switched to which fan subs he was watching, and what was it? Episode 1 was terribly
Episode 1 was-
Yeah.
translated. It was like, we are going to getting the wedding or something like that. It
Yes,
was
Jesus.
Okay, the one I watched, it had some the first episode had the most.
Zaza. Did you run into Zaza?
No.
That's
Lupin
what Pops
called-
is.
Lupin called Zenigata Zaza.
Yeah,
Wow, no, the version I watched, they actually called them Pops.
That's good. We only saw.
Congratulations.
Bob only watched that for one episode.
Yeah, like the fan subs I had, like I ended up with like a different fan sub each damn time because I was watching on a streaming site because trying to download it was a pain in the ass. But yeah, I found like a streaming site. Like guys, you know where to find your illegal anime. We're not gonna fucking promote this shit, like that. But like this one, this is one where you just can't fucking find it anywhere else other than fucking torrenting or streaming it illegally.
which is crazy to me because like Fujiko Mine, that got brought over by Funimation.
Yeah, and I think it
streamed simulcast.
I just feel like it probably just didn't do well enough.
Maybe, but I
And-
feel like
I mean, it
simulcast
wasn't called
doesn't-
Lupin, so they
It
should
did.
really wait.
It was called Lupin III, the woman called Fujiko Mine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the Fujiko Mine part was the subtitle.
So at least Funimation tried.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they gave Lupin one more shot.
Where's Conan's one more shot? I don't fucking say those 5 seasons, you shitlords. That's not enough.
I mean, in all fairness, they did put out 2 seasons. Wait like 3 years, and then
You shut up!
shotgun out
You
3 more.
shut up! It's not enough!
It took me forever to get used to Jigen's voice in Japanese because it sounds like he's whispering, but it's full volume.
Oh Jesus Christ! Speaking of the fucking the voice acting in this. This is the first Lupin series I've watched, or the first Lupin property I've watched in Japanese since they've switched voice actors for Zenigata and Fujiko. And that was jarring as fuck for me.
I would imagine.
Zenigata, not so much. Like, I mean, like, it's mostly noticeable when he doesn't go, Rupon! Like, you know, he doesn't have, like, that same kind of cadence and tone to his voice.
which
That,
The voice actor died for him, or?
yeah.
Okay.
Zenigata's voice actor died 2 years ago, and he stepped down, I think, 2 years before he died.
And Lupin's died a long while
Back in the 90s. He died in the mid-90s. Fujiko, she's still alive, but she just stepped down. Like, right before they did Fujiko Mine, she stepped down and they recast her. But I never watched that series in Japanese. So when I hear Fujiko with this much younger, kind of, you know, higher-pitched anime girl voice, it was really fucking jarring because I'm used to her voice being a bit lower and more sultry.
Yeah, which is her character.
Right.
Yeah, and here she's a lot more animu.
Yeah,
and,
I noticed that about that. I didn't know the history behind the recasting, though, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely miss the old Fujiko voice actress. I mean, this new chick isn't bad. It's just, she just isn't playing the character how I'm used to hearing it. And, yeah, I feel like she's just way too animu for Fujiko in general.
I mean, it's kind of like the Detective Mori problem I have of, like, I go and listen to the Japanese dub of Conan, and it's like, yeah, you're an abusive dad. You're really delivering on that, but you're just not the same. It's way funnier in English.
Yeah, probably.
Just the performance.
What was it? The thing is, it kind of kills me though with like the recasting that they did for Zenigata and Fujiko, just because. I mean, like pretty much both of them got recasted around the exact same time, which is why I hadn't watched any of this new Lupin stuff in Japanese. All the Japanese Lupin I've been watching is Green Coat Lupin or like the newer TV specials. Okay, and when Lupin's voice actor died in the mid-90s, they got a fucking amazing sound alike. If you watch Green Coat Lupin or Red Coat Lupin or Pink, and then you go and like watch the TV specials or the Blue Coat Lupin, it's pretty seamless. And this guy only voices Lupin. His entire voice acting catalog consists of he voiced Lupin in these movies, in these TV specials, in these shows since like 1995.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's just like, why couldn't you do that for like all these other characters? Fun fact: Jigen, still the same fucking dude from the
Jesus.
fucking Green Jacket series.
I believe it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is why he sounds like a surly old dude.
Yeah.
Which honestly, it works for Jigen because he's a surly
Perfectly.
old dude. But yeah,
Yeah, it'd be fucking weird if, I don't know, Fujiko sounded like a surly old dude.
yeah.
What about Goemon? Has he changed?
Yes, his voice actor, I believe, is still alive, but he has been recast. Like, he was recast a while back, I'm pretty sure. I forgot when, because I was looking all this up recently. Because the Fujiko thing was so jarring, and I'd forgotten that she had stepped down. I'd also forgotten that Zenigata had died. So I was like, weird. Zenigata doesn't sound the same when he goes, Rupon!
So when's Lupin gonna show up in Smash? He has a long history of amazing video games that I've traded in.
Honestly, I was gonna say, I mean, fuck Metal Gear Solid 2. Lupin, the Sorcerer King, is clearly the greatest fucking stealth game on the PS2. You can quote me on that. You buy that if you find that for like $160 on eBay.
I feel the story's interesting enough to fucking tell. I was sold on that game because somebody compared it to Metal Gear Solid. I owned that thing for less than a week and traded it in because, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit. We should do a Let's Play.
We should do a something.
I mean, I'm not going to be sober for it.
That would be asking too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to ask me to fucking play that game again, I mean, that game was fucking brilliant. You should all buy it.
Fuck you, sheeple!
Buy a brand new copy still in the cellophane wrap for $160 on eBay. Fucking do it.
You'll probably need a brand new in-box PS2 to play it. So.
Yeah, so also buy that. I happen to have one for sale, so if you go to ebay.com/projectspf, I'm just gonna look this up real quick to see what the value of that thing is, because it has to be rock fucking bottom.
Yeah, it's got to be fucking abysmal at this point. I mean, then again, maybe it had like a really limited run. Like that, I still can't believe that game got a full dub.
That is crazy to think about.
Like they got
that was the age of that happening.
Yeah, like every anime game got a dub back then. It was crazy. Even the fucking Orphan game got a fucking dub. They didn't use the dub cast.
Seems to me that you can buy it brand new for $25.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You got Prime shipping on that too.
Yeah. Holy God. Oh my God, this is brilliant. Frequently bought together.
Oh, no.
God, I see those from here.
PS2 Ghost in the Shell game and PS2 Samurai Champloo. Total price $131.
Oh,
That's
man.
brilliant. Oh my God.
Isn't that Shampoo game made by Suda?
Maybe he did some weird ones.
Yeah,
and that game was okay compared to the other two games in the list.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, this is Weeaboots. We should bring it up. Did you guys hear about the scenario with that new Afro Samurai game and what happened with that?
Yeah, apparently it was so
Yeah.
fucking terrible that it tanked, and they're now offering refunds to people who bought the season pass to get all 3 parts because they're not making parts 2 and 3.
Yeah, and the crazy part is it's published by a tiny, tiny publisher. And they came to Sony and they're like, we're delisting this and we're offering refunds. And Sony's like, we don't know how to do that. They're like, you what? They're like, we've never done this before. Never before has someone taken such a thorough dump on our servers and then correctly identified it as that. And then on top of that, felt like making it better.
Like, we're sorry, we're gonna wipe this filth from the face of the planet.
We need to wipe this shit off your server. What? Like that turd right there. I don't know that letting you do that's okay. I gotta ask my bosses. We want to sell your turd forever. But yeah, that game. Have you watched videos just to check out how it could possibly be that bad? Because I haven't.
Yeah, it looks
I looked at it.
pretty...
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It is impressively bad.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Is
that
it
much.
worse than the Lupin PS2 game?
Yes.
Did you own the Lupin PS2 game?
I played it because you bought it.
We didn't get out of the train, Bob.
We didn't, but that
Nobody
train...
gets out of the fucking train! I played it twice! I went back and played it like 5 fucking years ago to be like, no, it can't be that bad. I popped that bitch in my PS3. And I played. I tried for a fucking hour and a half. I was just like, fuck this game.
We should just have the worst anime games month. Weeaboots and Hail Zeon Fusion. We're gonna do the case closed game. They didn't even have the fucking dignity to release here.
The Wii one or a different
Yes.
one? Oh no.
What?
It came out in Australia. It has the US dub. They didn't bring it out in US territories because it's that fucking awful.
Wow. Okay, I know a guy in Australia. Maybe he can ship me a copy.
Yeah.
I might be able to call in a favor on that one.
But yeah, overall, you liked it a lot, Jay. You liked the new Lupin.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its issues. It looks like it's trying to find its footing, but the last 2 episodes I saw, the Zenigata one was a little bit weaker, but like I said, it's got heart to it. It had like a good emotional core in those last 2 episodes, like episode 2 did.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting seeing like a Fujiko-centered episode and a Zenigata-centric, because you never see a Zenigata-centric episode.
No.
Throughout all of Redcoat, like, I mean, he's just always the antagonist and the butt of jokes. Here, like, they gave him a fucking episode. It was pretty neat. And that was different.
That's cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch that one. That sounds good.
So yeah,
But yeah, I intend on watching more, and as Bob was saying, he's also interested
Yeah.
in waiting for a legit release, which is totally understandable.
Or maybe just find some fan servers that know what they're doing.
yeah,
They don't exist anymore.
I
They all
know.
went
They
extinct.
just don't.
yeah.
An asteroid hit them.
Those fan subs are pretty rough depending on which ones you bump into and find. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I dig it. I'm hoping Discotech announces that they're picking it up in the near future. I mean, it's a short enough series that I could see them warranting the release, because even though Lupin was considered a bad business decision for Funimation on 2 separate occasions, Lupin seems to be Discotech's bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like, every time they do a license announcement, they're like, where's the Lupin? Like, seriously, their Facebook is flooded with comments. What, there's no Lupin license? You guys usually do a Lupin license. And then, like a little bit later, like, here's your new Lupin title. Leave us the fuck alone.
But yeah, I mean, there's a difference between Discotech and Funimation. Funimation's just so big that they can't sell Lupin the quantities they need. The quantities that they hit with all those other more more popular things.
Yeah, and I think
It's kind of sad.
sad.
It's really a Two-Face scenario of they stuck around long enough to become the villain. Like they
Yeah.
just so huge.
Yeah, well, that and like they refuse to do subs. They refuse to do sub-only releases, and I feel like
Because you lose a ton of the people you could be selling to if you did sub-exclusive. Like
at the
you've
same
just
time,
lost
though-
a lot of the market. I know it costs less.
Yeah.
But that's what they are now.
Right.
Yeah, and
They
it's-
just need the maximum market, which is why martial arts came.
yeah. Oh, okay.
No, I
no,
made you.
no,
Okay,
no.
good.
No, this is something.
Because I will stop you.
Okay, so another company that does sub and dub releases, Sentai Filmworks, they recently announced Nozaki for a U.S. release, their physical release.
Oh, okay.
It has an English dub, it has a DVD and Blu-ray, and it also has a collector's edition DVD Blu-ray combo pack with soundtrack, a fucking poster, and an art book.
All right.
Now, just to be clear, the full title is Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the price?
Like 70 or something.
Could be better, but
Yeah,
I mean, that's just for the collector's edition.
yeah,
That's not,
that's the collector's
Okay.
edition.
okay.
Yeah.
That was not clear.
Yeah, sorry. The collector's
Woo!
edition is like 7.
And that's affordable as fuck for a collector's edition of
Yeah.
an anime, I feel.
yeah,
like-
like I think like the MSRP
I mean,
on it,
that's less than a single DVD of Kill la Kill.
right.
God.
But yeah, like the MSRP on it is like 100 and something, but like 110 I think. But like if you find it on Right Stuff, if you get it on sale or whatever, it's like close to like 70, 79 or 70, $80.
Well, that's cool. Because we all enjoyed that anime.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, for people who were like Weeaboots viewers, listeners from way back when,
Yeah.
like that's getting a physical release,
And if
we
you haven't
totally
watched that,
endorse it.
you can totally look up Weeaboots Nozaki-kun.
Yeah, and like that's one that I actually watched all the way through, and I liked it.
Yeah.
It got like the earlier episodes aren't as good I think as the later ones, but it was good. I liked it. I can fully endorse that series. So we're not entirely hateful bastards that just shit on every fucking anime.
No, in fact, early on in Weeaboots, we saw a lot of great things because a lot of great things came out that season,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, like this season has been.
Yeah, this season is weak. This season, I feel like, is the weakest I've run into in years.
Yeah, it's
It's strange.
What are you saying? This is hitting 2011 tiers of anime? I'm trying to remember the year of anime that was just, man, can you guys make these?
Yeah, because I mean, like, One Punch Man really kind of like set the bar high, and then it's just like, then we got
No
a bad-
competition.
yeah, then we got like we got a fairly bad Gundam series, and then we got a really mediocre fantasy series. Which, oh god, someone commented to me recently on that about it's just like the series has 5 stars.
You're talking about Seven Deadly Sins,
Yeah.
right? Okay, continue.
Yeah, like someone had commented to me. It's like Weeaboots sits on the series, but it has like 5 stars on Netflix. Glad you guys are around or whatever to keep things straight around.
What doesn't have 5 stars on Netflix?
You'd be surprised.
American Psycho 2.
Well, yes. Other than that, the worst movie made in American history.
That
You
thing's, we
apparently-
finished watching it. It was a terrible mistake to make at 5 in the morning. I lost sleep watching that movie.
I still believe that is actually a sequel to Species that they mislabeled.
We also kept, what was it? We were like, maybe the original plot of the movie, she's the shapeshifter. That's how this plot makes any sense.
God, that movie was so bad.
It was so bad. It's worse than any anime we've reviewed,
Definitely.
yeah,
which is kind of stunning when you think about it.
yeah. I mean, I watched that movie when I was like 17, and I realized it was shit.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, I'll also bring up a comment I received on the Gigaboots comment section, because of course we upload this both on Hail Zeon and Gigaboots. Hans Von said Seven Deadly Sins is an American anime, and that he made a correction to that episode. Being funded by America does not make something an American anime.
Yeah.
I refute that idea. Also, its original debut is in Japan.
Yeah, like it is still, even if it's made with American money, it is.
I can't go commission a drawing from a Japanese artist and call myself a mangaka, and I believe that is a good parallel of like, this is not an anime made by an American company. It is made by a Japanese company and funded by an American company. It was commissioned, you idiots! Like,
Yeah,
I pluralized that. Sorry, Hans Von. It's fucking commissioned, Hans Vaughn, you crazy fuck.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's still it's based off of a manga that was made in Japan. It has an entirely Japanese production team by a well-known Japanese studio for a Japanese audience that just so happened to get exclusive Netflix streaming in the States as well. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, Big O is American anime, season 2.
Yeah. The season 2 was funded by the US. There's a few other animes that have had
and IGDX and Afro Samurai.
Yeah,
It's like,
man,
yeah, but
that's a really bad metric.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is, because, you know, anime is, you know, the best way to describe, like, the only... Okay, I'll give you an idea, an example of an American anime.
What?
Little Nemo.
Yeah.
Because that was a complete crazy-ass co-production right there.
Which went terribly, apparently.
It is really hard to say, well, would you call that Japanese?
Was it Miyazaki who was originally on it and just rage quit?
Like, he did some work on it. There was like 4 different goddamn directors, and there was at least like there was some weird miscommunication between the American development team and the Japanese one, and people weren't communicating properly, and people were quitting on both
Sonic
sides.
2 on accident.
Oops! Oh man. Then Miyazaki had to go and make Spinball. But yeah, that whole thing. Whenever we're reviewing Lil Nemo for Weeaboots, it's anime.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, why do none of us own the Blu-ray?
I don't know why I don't own the Blu-ray. I've always been poor
so
every
weird.
time I fucking remember there's a Blu-ray.
Yeah, the
is
Blu-ray. The
beautiful.
Blu-ray is the only way to get the Japanese dub.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
Because I've always been interested, and it was not available until that release.
Yeah, I don't know why it's always been cut out of every other release.
Because
until
the
then.
thing doesn't at all, like when you're watching it as a kid or whatever, it doesn't even slightly just, this is anime. Like it kind of, like in my brain from back then and even into, you know, teenage years, it and The Great Mouse Detective.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same story.
Yeah, the exact same story. Remember when the really big
universe is
kid
linked.
shoved little Nemo out of the fucking clock tower and he died and it was metal as shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the thing.
it was great.
He said Pajama Pajama and then blew him up with a fucking shotgun. I need to watch that again. Do you own The Great Mouse Detective? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only on DVD, but I don't.
Yeah, which is fucking awesome, man.
Well, I mean, they put out a Blu-ray years later, but like I had already owned the DVD, and I was like, I just bought the DVD like last year, you pricks.
Was that the Dragon's...
You mean Don Bluth?
Yeah, Don Bluth. Was that Don
No,
Bluth?
no, that's Disney.
Oddly enough, it's not Don Bluth. It looks like Don Bluth.
Weird.
Like something about it to me just...
Yeah. Fun fact though about that, because this kind of like talk about Great Mouse Detective kind of ties into Lupin, because the clock tower scene is very directly inspired by Castle of Cagliostro,
Yep.
which also had a clock tower fight scene.
Yep.
See, we made it all tie together. That's how awesome Weeaboots are. It all just ties in, guys.
We were playing the long game. Fuck you. See you next week for Digimon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Weeaboots. Go check out our video game coverage over at Gigaboots on YouTube and consider supporting us via Patreon so we can continue making Weeaboots. Jay from HailZeon.com is Hail Zeon on YouTube, and our theme song is Android by Luckhash. You can check out more music from Luckhash at www.luckhash.com. Oh, and if you could, write a review for us on iTunes.